Few franchises in gaming history have created villains as memorable as those found in Metal Gear. Throughout the series, players faced enemies who were more than simple bad guys. They were tragic soldiers, manipulated patriots, supernatural killers, and ideological extremists shaped by war and politics. From psychic assassins to legendary mercenaries, the Metal Gear Solid franchise delivered some of the most iconic antagonists ever seen in gaming. Here are the 10 greatest villains in Metal Gear Solid history.
Revolver Ocelot. No villain defines the Metal Gear series more than Revolver Ocelot. Appearing across multiple timelines and story arcs, Ocelot constantly manipulated global events from behind the scenes. His loyalty always seemed to shift, making him one of gaming's most unpredictable characters. Whether interrogating enemies, spinning revolvers during gunfights, or orchestrating massive conspiracies, Ocelot remained at the center of the franchise's biggest twists. Why he's legendary? Master manipulator and strategist. One of gaming's greatest double agents. Iconic cowboy personality and gunplay. Central figure throughout the franchise. 2. The Boss. Few antagonists in gaming are as emotionally complex as the Boss. Introduced in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Ear, she served as mentor, mother figure, and ultimate enemy to Naked Snake. What makes her unforgettable is the tragedy behind her mission. She sacrificed everything for her country, even allowing herself to be remembered as a traitor. Her final battle remains one of the most emotional moments in gaming history. Why she's legendary? Deep emotional storytelling. One of gaming's greatest mentor characters. Complex motivations and sacrifice. Iconic final boss battle. 3. Liquid Snake. Liquid Snake brought charisma, rage, and chaos to the original Metal Gear Solid. As Solid Snake's genetically engineered brother, Liquid believed he was doomed by inferior genes and spent his life trying to prove his superiority. His over-the-top personality, hatred toward Big Boss's legacy, and constant rivalry with Solid Snake made him one of the series' most iconic villains. Why he's legendary? Personal connection to Solid Snake, memorable voice acting and monologues, one of gaming's best rival characters, legendary final showdown on Metal Gear Rex. 4. Senator Armstrong. Although technically from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Senator Armstrong became an instant fan favorite. His insane nanomachine-powered strength, political ideology, and explosive personality created one of the most entertaining villains in the franchise. The final battle against Armstrong became legendary thanks to its intensity, absurdity, and unforgettable dialogue. Why he's legendary? Over-the-top personality, insanely powerful boss fight, memorable quotes and scenes, perfect fit for Revengeance's chaotic tone. 5. Psycho Mantis. Psycho Mantis completely changed how players viewed boss fights in video games. His psychic abilities allowed him to read memory cards, move controllers, and directly interact with the player in groundbreaking ways. Beyond the gimmicks, Mantis also had one of the darkest backstories in the series, shaped by trauma and hatred. Why he's legendary? Revolutionary fourth-wall-breaking boss fight, disturbing psychic powers, one of gaming's most creative encounters, unforgettable horror atmosphere. 6. Big Boss. Big Boss is both hero and villain throughout the Metal Gear timeline. Once a legendary soldier who fought for peace, he slowly became disillusioned by governments and endless war. His transformation into the leader of militarized nations and private armies made him one of gaming's most tragic antagonists. Why he's legendary? Complex moral ambiguity. Legendary soldier status. Central figure of the franchise timeline. Tragic downfall from hero to villain. 7. Vamp. Vamp brought supernatural horror into the Metal Gear universe. His unnatural speed, immortality-like abilities, and brutal knife combat made every encounter terrifying. His eerie personality and relentless pursuit of his enemies gave him a unique presence compared to the series' more political villains. Why he's legendary? Supernatural combat abilities, creepy horror-inspired presentation, memorable knife fights, one of the series' deadliest assassins. 8. Volgin. Colonel Volgin was pure brutality. Unlike the franchise's more philosophical villains, Volgin relied on fear, violence, and destruction to maintain power. Armed with electrical powers and unmatched cruelty, he became one of Naked Snake's most dangerous enemies in Snake Eater. Why he's legendary: ruthless and intimidating presence, brutal torture scenes, powerful electrical attacks, one of the franchise's most violent villains.
9. Skullface. Skullface served as the main antagonist of Metal Gear Solid V: The Phantom Pain. Consumed by revenge and hatred toward global powers, he planned to reshape the world through biological warfare and linguistic control. His burned appearance and eerie calmness made him one of the franchise's most visually striking villains. Why he's legendary? Disturbing philosophy and motivations, unique visual design, one of the darkest villains in the series, central figure in MGS-V's story.
10. Gray Fox. Gray Fox exists in a tragic space between ally and enemy. As the cybernetic ninja, he became one of the franchise's most iconic characters thanks to his speed, sword combat, and emotional storyline. His battles with Solid Snake remain some of the series' most memorable moments. Why he's legendary? Iconic cyber ninja design, emotional and tragic character arc, incredible sword combat scenes, one of the coolest characters in gaming history.
The villains of Metal Gear helped elevate the series far beyond a typical stealth action franchise. These characters brought emotional depth, political commentary, psychological horror, and unforgettable boss fights that still influence games today. Whether tragic, terrifying, or completely insane, these antagonists remain some of the greatest villains in gaming history.